of the workforce. We, as a reminder, our meeting will be recorded. Thank you, and we do want to thank you for your time today in reviewing this session, the state of the workforce. This is our annual series of industry snapshots hosted by Lake County Workforce Development, the business services team. We appreciate your time today, whether you're an employer or a job seeker. We want to showcase how workforce development could assist with your workforce needs or employment needs. Let's go ahead and get started, and welcome again, everyone, for the State of Workforce in our Industry Snapshot series. My name is Antonio Garcia. I am the Business Services Manager for Lake County Workforce Development. My role is connecting employers with job seekers and ensuring that our job seekers have a career path. I also want to introduce the broader Business Services Account Executives team. Our account executives are the subject matter experts on an array of industries, whether it's in professional services, manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, or working with our young adults. The business services team is ready and available to support our constituents. For today's conversation, we are going to share how the business services solutions work. What are the emerging trends in Lake County? And we're also going to share a couple of industry insights and challenges. And also, how does the business services fit in all this? And how can we support you as an employer or a job seeker with our current solutions? And then finally, we'll review upcoming events and initiatives brought to you by business services, followed by questions and answers. As a reminder, all our lines are muted. Please enter your questions in the chat box and we will make sure to address them at the end of this presentation. Great, so for our first topic of today's conversation, I would like to introduce you to Carla Wallace Kelly. Carla is a business account executive in business services. Carla is training and career development professional with more than 20 years of progressive experience in the private sector. With recognized strengths in talent acquisition, training, staff support, and employee development, Carla's focus is connecting employers and young adults throughout Lake County. With that, I'll turn it over to Carla.
Hi, everyone. So Antonio covered our agenda for today, but before we get into the actual content, we'd like to go over some of the questions we asked as far as the registration. Thank you for everybody who provided a response. Our first question was, what trends do you see emerging in 2020? And a few that stood out. I'll go through. The Great Resignation will continue, but I think it'll also cause labor force redistribution to other fields. Greater desire to have fulfilling work. And we, employers, need to be better and more innovative at attracting candidates at all levels. Our next question was, what is a challenge you think will impact job seekers in 2022? And some that stood out here, the uncertainty of what career to go to next, how, where, and to gain skills in preparation to do so. Job seekers will need to adapt and skill up, and the continued pandemic insecurity. Thank you again for everyone that responded to those questions. We'd like to take a quick poll to see who's in our audience today. So if you could take a moment to select if you're an employer, job seeker, educator, community organization, elected official, or other. And we'll tally the results. A few more. We're almost there in the count. Need a few more people to check in. Anybody else? Well, I think we have about 80% of the group responded. It looks like we have a good percentage of employers and community organizations, as well as educators, elected officials, and others. So thank you for checking in on that poll. So the business service team, which Antonio mentioned, we're focused on connecting employers and job seekers. So we support the workforce pipeline through a variety of activities, career fairs, training, and community partnered events. All of our services are offered at no cost to our customers, employer, or job seeker. Our program offers workforce solutions, workforce training, and we work with the ecosystem as well within Lake County. And our program is governed by the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act. So if we take a little bit of a deeper dive into each of the programs, Workforce Solutions, it's the business services team. We're here to provide services such as labor market information to employers. Could be that you're looking to get wage data to see if your positions are competitive with other companies similar to yours. Job postings, career fairs, and employer hiring events as well. And a variety of workshops for job seekers. Okay. The next we have is workforce training. We have 3 different types of training we support: incumbent worker training, work experience, which is a paid internship, and then on-the-job training for currently existing employees. Incumbent worker training, we support that by reimbursing up to 90% of the training for the employer's current workforce. The work experience paid internship we can support by covering 100% of the wages for 1,000 hours or 6 months, whichever might come first. And the on-the-job training is a hire first initiative. So the employer would initially hire the individual, and then we would cover up to 90% of those wages at 1,000 hours or 6 months, again, whichever comes first. We also have the ecosystem. Our ecosystem, it's partners like the College of Lake County, IDES, Lake County Tech Campus, and then Lake County High Schools. And through the ecosystem, we're able to offer more solutions and opportunities to employers and job seekers to connect. I won't get into the details of this slide, but I wanted to provide a visual example of labor market information that we are able to provide. So we're looking at county population, the demographics of the workforce, occupation overview, wage data, and we use EMSI to pull much of our data and share with employers. If you want to find out more information about the services we provide, you can visit lakecountyjobcenter.com. And then click business at the top of the banner, and we're going to have that added in the link for you as well. So moving along, we're going to look at some trends, emerging trends in the workforce. The first trend I'd like to call attention to is remote work. So as a result of the pandemic, we saw many employers pivot their business practices where possible to allow for either remote or hybrid work models. This isn't disappearing anytime soon, and in fact, there's a greater demand for remote and hybrid work now more than before. So what does this mean for employers? It means looking for ways to offer more flexibility to your employees. It could be that you do introduce remote work, you introduce a hybrid schedule, or just flex schedules in general, and also being innovative about where you look for candidates. For job seekers, this means when you are looking for remote opportunities, focus on the position you want to target. Maybe look beyond your immediate geographical location, and definitely tailor your resume and profile for remote work using target keywords. That's going to increase your opportunities for remote work. Some of the industries that are seeing a definite increase for remote work: tech, finance, sales, and customer service. A recent survey from one of our local job posting companies shared that 77% of workers expect to have more flexibility in their job and career. Another 79% agree that to retain and increase their future employability, they need to continue to learn and develop their skills. And that leads us to the next trend, which is a focus on skills. Upskilling, reskilling to address skill gaps, it's important, and it's an increased focus within the workforce to retain and then bring in new talent as well. Again, what does this mean for employers? It's refocusing on the job seeker skills in addition to the traditional measures you look at, such as experience or education, to increase your talent pool. Seek to invest in employees through upskilling and reskilling. So rethinking the requirement of 2 to 5 years of experience, be willing to train that next candidate to build up your pipeline. So take a moment and think, like, as an example, you have a lot of people changing careers right now. They will have those skills, the soft skills you're seeking, maybe just not the hard skills that you can train to. For job seekers, definitely similar, focus on developing your skills rather than focusing on a specific role or title. Look to increase the skills that are going to connect you with that position and that employer. Be sure to incorporate your skills on your resume and on your profile. Increasing transferable skills will definitely put you in a better position to capitalize on new career opportunities. And here I'm showing, this is an EMSI report looking at top common skills that are in job postings. So the frequency in which they occur in a job posting and the frequency in which they occur on a profile for a job seeker. You see the #1 skill is communication. It's ultimately in all of the job postings, but yet you see a small percentage of job seekers are actually including that in their profile or resume. So there's an opportunity to really start to customize your resume to the position you're looking for to ensure you're calling out those skills that you possess and you can highlight in your next position. So the last trend I'm focused on here is company culture. It's not a new trend. It started several years ago, but there's definitely been a refocus and a need to increase diversity, increase inclusion, and equity within the workforce. Okay. What does this mean for employers? Well, we need to start building a diverse talent pipeline, inclusive of age, race, and gender. Creating a diverse and inclusive workplace and reduce bias when screening candidates. Review how you're attracting talent, specifically Gen Z. For job seekers, take time to evaluate the company you're applying to. You want to ensure their values are aligned to your values. Look for ways to highlight the activities and experiences you've had to show that you can support an inclusive and diverse workplace as well. And the last slide I'll show you here, it's just a snapshot of company culture within the manufacturing industry, where there's opportunities to maybe increase inclusion and equity across the board, and the talent pool that maybe is being missed by not looking at those segments. So we have industry by age, we have race and ethnicity, and then also gender, where there's opportunities. So I hope you were able to gain something from what I shared today, and I do appreciate your time and attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla, for that great information. We couldn't agree more. And thank you for walking us through the business services and the skill gaps analysis. That was great information. For our second topic of today, I would like to introduce you to Wilson Giraldo. Wilson Giraldo is an optimistic, enthusiastic professional with over 15 years of experience in the information technology industry. Most recently, 5 years in Lake County government, supporting workforce initiatives and business services. Through his professional experience, he has acquired the knowledge and skill set to develop the right action plan for each client unique needs. Wilson, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Antonio. So let's review local industry trends. For the industry trends, we have selected the top industries in Lake County, which are professional services, manufacturing, TDL, which is transportation, distribution, and logistics. Finally is healthcare. On the left-hand side of the graph is representing Lake County to the national average for this industry. So the supply is about equal to the national average, and the gap between expected and actual employment from 2020 to 2025 is expected to increase over the next 5 years by 1%. On the right top side, you'll see supply jobs graph. Lake County is about the same average as the national average. The USA icon is the national average, and the line represents the average for Lake County. The bottom graph, demand job postings, you see competition from online job postings is about average in Lake County. National is about 1,156 job postings a month, while Lake County is 1,212. So really, again, that's why you see there's not that much of a difference. Now let's look at the top hard and common skills. Here on the top hard skill graph, we're seeing that employers are frequently posting jobs with the following skills, which are the dark lines, for example, in finance, and the frequency in the profiles of the job seekers and their resumes with that hard skill is about 5%. The blue line shows that the job seekers are missing that mark on their resumes by not providing those details. On the top common skills side, we're seeing that employers are frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, again, communication. And the frequency in the profiles of the job seekers and their resumes with that common skill is about 7 to 8%. Another example of missing important information on job seekers' resume. Let's review manufacturing now. Let me direct your eyes to the graph on the left-hand side, which indicates that the supply is higher than the national average in Lake County. Here you can see clearly that the black line shows Lake County and the blue line shows the national average. This higher than expected supply may make it easier to find candidates. The gap between expected and actual employment is expected to remain roughly the same over the next 5 years. Moving on, and under the aggressive hiring competition over a deep supply of original talent, that's a mouthful, you can see the supply job graph, which shows Lake County is a hot spot for this type of talent. The national average for an area this size is about 28,000 employees, while here are 52,000 employees in this industry. The bottom graph, demand job posting, shows that the competition from online job postings is high in Lake County. The national average is about 511 job postings per month, while in Lake County has 1,173. Let's look at the top hard and common skills. Here on the top hard skills graph, you're seeing that employers are, again, frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, packaging and labeling. And the frequency in the profile of the job seekers and their resumes with that hard skill is none. So this is very important, again, to make sure that you're looking at those job descriptions and providing those examples on your resume. On the top common skill side, we're seeing that employers are frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, communication. And the frequency in the profiles of the job seekers and their resumes that common skills is about 4%. Another example of missing important information on resumes. Let's review TDL now. On the left-hand side, the graph is representing that the supply is lower than the national average in Lake County. An average area of this size would have 13,000 employees. While there are 7,700 here, this lower than expected supply may make it more difficult to find candidates. The gap between expected and actual employment is expected to remain roughly the same over the next 5 years from 2020 to 2025, with an 8% projected growth. On the right-hand side, the aggressive hiring competition over a thin supply of regional talent. We see that the supply job graph for Lake County is not a hotspot for this type of talent. Again, the national average for an area this size is 13,000 employees, while there's only 7,713 here. On the bottom graph, the demand job posting shows competition from about shows the competition from online job posting is high in Lake County, where the national average is about 236 job postings a month, while in Lake County has 265. Let's look at the top hard and common skills. Here on the top hard skills graph, we're seeing that the employers are frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, forklift truck at 7%. And the frequency in the profiles of the job seekers and their resumes with that hard skill, about 2%. And so this is another perfect examples of individuals in these industries missing the mark on providing those details on their resumes. Now, on the top common skill side, we're seeing that the employers are frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, communication is at 11%, and the frequency in the profile of the job seekers and their resumes with that common skill is about 3%. Moving on to the last industry, healthcare. We're seeing that the supply is lower than the national average in Lake County. This lower than expected supply may make it more difficult to find candidates. The gap between expected and actual employment is expected to increase over the next 5 years. Looking at the right side now, under light hiring competition over a thin supply of regional talent, you see the supply graph, and Lake County is not a hotspot for this type of talent. The national average for an area this size is about 45,000 employees, while there are 29,000 here. The bottom demand job posting graph shows that the competition from online job postings is low in Lake County. The national average is about 963 job postings a month, while Lake County has 657. Let's look at the top hard skills and common skills. Here on the top hard skills graph, we're seeing that the employers are frequently posting the following skills. For example, nursing at 26%, and the frequency in the profiles of the job seekers and their resumes with that hard skill is about 8%. On the top common skill side, we're seeing that employers are again frequently posting jobs with the following skills. For example, coordinating is at 8%, and the frequency in the profile of the job seekers and their resumes in the common skill side is about 3%. All right, so it's time for another poll question. And go ahead and have that poll pop up. All right, what do you think is the biggest challenge that will impact employers' workforce in 2022? Prioritizing employees' well-being and mental health, adapting to a hybrid work model, increase the use of AI technology, skills gap, attracting and retaining talent, additional impact of COVID-19, transportation/childcare. We'll give the audience a moment to put their answers in, and we'll review that. All right. So as you can see that roughly 13% specified prioritizing employees' well-being and mental health, another 13% and adapting to a hybrid work model, 3% in increasing use of AI and technology, 13% on skills gap, attracting and retaining talent. That's the biggest part that we see here is at 45%. Additional impacts of COVID-19, only 2%. So that's great to see that everyone's and is eager to move on through this phase, right? And transportation and childcare at 10%. Right. Now let's discuss challenges. All right, so the challenges impacting local employers and workforce. On the employer side, and we're looking at attracting candidates, the talent shortage. And talent shortage could also be a reshuffle, right? Employee retention and resignation, remote work, pandemic / COVID-19, monetary, the wages increase, benefits, bonus and workplace culture, work-life balance. On the workforce side, childcare, skills gaps / education, work experience, pandemic, COVID-19, new and emerging technologies, resume assistance, transportation, and work-life balance. Now let's look at some of the solutions. The workforce solutions for employers and job seekers and resources. So the business services team provides access to labor market information by providing comprehensive reporting and data insights to better understand age data, workforce trends, and in-demand occupation in our county. Part of those solutions that we offer at no cost to the employers and to the job seekers. So on the employer side, we can assist with job fairs, employer hiring events, and engaging employers with local chamber of commerce. Create customized recruitment plans, as well as sourcing candidates to those employers for those current job openings. And then connect with the Job Center of Lake County. On the job seeker side, we provide pre-hire training for eligible applicants, like internships, assist with training and employment on the financial aid for job training, right, as part of our WIOA program. Connect the Job Center, connect to Job Center of Lake County workshops and resume and computer labs. So we have our monthly calendar that goes out that has the schedule of the workshops, and those workshops are resume, how to build a resume, and any additional assistance that you need with computers as well. So the last slide that I will be touching base on, which is another resource for employers and the job seekers, is the Hire Lake County webpage. So the Job Center of Lake County has partnered with local employers to help individuals impacted by recent layoffs and with recent layoffs and land their new jobs. So on the new Hire Lake County webpage, employers can submit a form to the business services team for their current job openings, and we will review and post those on the website. On the job seeker site, you can browse through several of these job openings and learn how to apply and see which employers are participating in the WIOA program. On the additional side for the job seekers, you can also submit your resume for consideration for a work experience like those internships or straight referral to employers. And that's part of the Higher Lake County website, and I will now turn it over to Antonio. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Wilson. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for that fantastic update and for sharing industry insights. Thank you for all the participants as well in the poll. We couldn't agree more that attracting and retaining talent is a top priority. While the Lake County unemployment rate dropped to 2.8% from 2020, as of December 2021, the unemployment rate here in Lake County is at 3.7%. We are happy to see folks go into the job force. However, as employers and job seekers, we still face these challenges. The questions that we must ask is, are we relying too much heavily on HR technology and missing out on those resumes that have hidden skills or skills that they didn't put in their resume that could be a good fit for the company? We couldn't agree more. Are you selling your company's culture or the trainings that you provide? How do we ensure at the front end to ensure that the individual will have a career path within your company? Please reach out to us and see how we can tailor a program that works for you as an employer and as a job seeker as well. We are ready and available to help. But how has the Business Services Solutions under the WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, worked within our community? I'm honored to introduce you to Carrie Espinosa. Carrie is the owner of Horizon Benefit Services, proudly serving the community for decades. She first participated in the Workforce Development on the Job Training Program in 2020 and joined the Lake County Workforce Development Board later that year. In addition to being a small business owner herself and leveraging the resources through workforce development to grow her team, Carrie works with small employers throughout the area and is a strong ambassador for workforce development. Carrie, we would love to hear your story.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonio, for the introduction and for all you and your team do for us small businesses and for workforce development. As everyone knows, my name is Carrie Espinosa and I own Horizon Benefit Services in Waukegan. I'm honored to be part of workforce development, and workforce development, quite honestly, has been instrumental to my agency's growth. I first leveraged this resource in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. I had a candidate, exactly what Carla and Antonio you're talking about, right? I had a candidate that I felt would be a great addition to my team. She had an impressive resume with leadership experience, but she didn't have much office experience or little to no office experience. I wanted to bring her on and have her be part of my team, but I knew I needed a development plan to get her up and running and felt that the cost to do so as a small business could be prohibitive. Did I mention we were in the midst of a pandemic too? Thanks to the workforce development on the job training program and Damar Harris's help, she joined my team and we were able to invest in her training and developing her skills to where she's now an integral part of my business. This included classroom training to help her get her insurance license, hands-on training to help learn new technologies, and help her improve her written and oral communication skills, along with other talents. Even better, my new employee was able to successfully leverage resources through workforce development to receive financial assistance to attend college. I'm proud to say that she's still part of my team. She's still working with me and a valuable member of who we are and what we do in the community. I also want to say that even more recently in 2021, I worked with you, Antonio, and Gerardo to leverage some of the programs through WIOA, and another candidate joined my team and joined as an intern. We're about 2/3 of the way through the program, and this again would not have been possible without workforce development. I'm so grateful for the programs and for being able to serve on the board. Workforce development helps me to both invest in my community and my business. And I highly encourage anybody who's on the call, whether you're a job seeker, whether you're an employer, reach out to Antonio and his team and leverage the toolbox of resources that workforce development has to offer. Thank you. Antonio, you're on mute.
We're talking just about technology, right? Thank you, Carrie, so much for your sharing your experience. Thank you for being an advocate on workforce development and within the community. And thank you for all you do as well. We highly appreciate the partnership. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our speakers today. We reviewed great information of how business services could assist you as an employer, or if you're a job seeker and we can partner you up. You could participate in our resumes, workshops, and about your brand in part of the Job Center. We also heard about emerging trends and the challenges that we have as employers in retaining talent or finding the right talent, and as job seekers to find the right fit for individuals to ensure that career path. Thank you for all the speakers today. As a final topic of today's conversation, I do want to share the upcoming events and initiatives led by the business services team. As we mentioned, this is our kickoff of the year for our industry snapshots. Today, we wanted to introduce you to business services, but please save the date, and we will again share this presentation with everyone. The Lake County Workforce Development Business Services team, in partnership with a local employer, will provide industry snapshots. We encourage you to attend to learn about emerging workforce trends, career paths, and training and employment opportunities. Starting off in April 13th, we will hear from employers and our subject matter experts, account executives, about information technology. Transportation, distribution, and logistics will be in June 7th. We'll talk about healthcare August 10th. And finally, in October, celebrating Manufacturing Month, we will close the year with manufacturing on October the 12th. All of these dates at 11 o'clock Central Time. So please follow us on social media, reach out to us if you'd like to participate. We would love to have you as part of our conversation. And as previously mentioned, please find us on all social media channels. Our handle is Job Center of Lake County IL. We will be posting this presentation on YouTube. We encourage you to reach out to the Job Center as well if you need assistance. We are handling our visits by appointment only. Please call us at 847-377-3450 to schedule your appointment. We are located in 1 North Genesee Street here in Waukegan, Illinois, zip code 60085. And also visit us online on lakecountyjobcenter.com. We'll also place that in the chat for easy access, where you can find resources for employers and for job seekers as well. Again, thank you everyone for participating in assistance. We will stop the recording at this moment.